I'm happy to announce that I'm going to be doing my very first Legion Q&A on my Twitch channel this Saturday, August 27th at 10:30 CST. I will be answering your questions live on Discord, so be sure to download Discord by clicking the link in the description and then join my channel, and I'll see you guys there. Alright, today I have the opportunity to dive into a topic that I have not yet explored on my channel, and we're doing it a little bit different today. I'm actually bringing a Fury Warrior player, also a YouTuber known as Bajira. You've seen him in my videos quite often. So what's up, Baj? Welcome to the channel, dude.
Yeah, what's up, dude? Chatting about Fury Warriors today, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, so they're a lot different, I've noticed, since the expansion came out, and then also when the beta came out. Like, there's just been a lot of changes with this class, so I thought it would be cool if you could kind of give me some perspective of exactly like what's been changing a whole lot throughout the beta and the alpha stages, and then I can also give my opinion of the class overall. Well, I'm like at 1 health, not dying.
One of the fun things, we can even go back a little bit further and just explore it, how it was in WoD versus how it changed in Legion. So in Warlords, a Fury was it's always very enrage dependent, but one of the things about it was an extremely spiky damage dealing class. So one of the main things that you would do is go for things like big setups with your sudden death procs, which meant that whenever you got a sudden death proc, you could use execute in that exact moment and have it deal a ton of damage, just like unreduced execute damage as Fury, and you would do a lot of burst with sudden death execute procs to deal your damage, basically. No Colossus Smash or anything like that. So it was a decent steady damage class that had insane spike damage. So one of the things I like to do was play it in like
with the siege breakers and stuff, right? That was like the big
so the siege breaker, right? Siege breaker was like sort of like mid WoD, where you would even use siege breaker. That wasn't something that I used as much later on. For me, I was probably one of the only people who played a lot of Fury at like high level in arena. I love to play KFC, which is Hunter Warrior Healer, and Fury was actually perfect for that because it had no AoE. It had the ability to reduce its own cooldowns with the anger management, or use a super huge burst cooldown like Siege Breaker. So you'd be able to set up nice Stormbolt trap combos a whole lot. You'd either play Siege Breaker with BM for huge burst on a longer cooldown, or you would play anger management for a little bit with survival for lower CC cooldowns, so you'd be able to CC more often. What has happened in Legion is Fury has become more of a sort of steady damage and AoE build, which is the opposite of Fury in WoD. It was no AoE at all, unless you really tried to weave it in your rotation with whirlwinds, but nothing else cleaved unless you whirlwinded. And then it was super spiky damage. Now it's very consistent damage with a whole lot of AoE, and the AoE is built in with, once again, with whirlwinds help cleave your bloodthirst or your rampage. So you still have chunks of damage, little spikes of DPS with your enrage procs or your cooldowns, obviously, and then rampage. So it's the main thing is it has gone from a single target spike damage class to a AoE consistent damage class, which is interesting.
Yeah, and I think that there has been quite a lot of changes since the alpha came out, because I remember fighting Fury Warriors and their healing would be really insane, and their damage would be really insane, and they had great mobility, and it just felt like the class was in a really good place. But now that it's kind of developed a little bit more, there's been more changes, and I kind of wanted to dive into a little bit more of the weaknesses now, because it does feel like it is a little bit weaker than ARMS, and in terms of like an arena situation,
Definitely. So when you first look at Fury going into Legion, you notice that it has one of the main things that all of this is built around is the fact that when you get enraged, which is what makes Fury Warriors do more damage, like your mastery affects so basically enraging makes you attack faster, and it gives you a certain amount of extra damage based on your mastery.
Right.
And what happens also when you're enraged is you take 30% extra damage, and that sounds insane because it is. 30% extra damage. If you imagine one of your enemies popping a cooldown that gave them 30% extra damage, that's going to be like a 3-minute, 2-minute cooldown, right? But for Fury Warriors, you're giving the enemy team a 3-minute cooldown for the whole team every time that you're trying to deal damage. So that is a massive weakness for Fury Warriors. One of the things that happened earlier on in the alpha and beta stages was that you took a bunch of extra damage, but it was actually balanced out by the fact that you dealt insane damage and you also healed so much back. So a lot of your healing it's not like a static number. It scales off of your max health, and so Fury Warriors get extra max health. Your artifact weapon allows you to get extra max health when you get enraged. So you took a ton of damage, but you're able to stick in the fight, deal a ton of damage, and then of course heal a lot back. Now they nerfed the damage that Fury Warriors deal, and they nerfed the healing that they get as well. But you're still left with the glaring weakness that was there before, which is the fact that whenever you get enraged, you take 30% extra damage. Everything about Fury in terms of like its mobility is still there. You still have the ability to take a PvP talent that allows you to leap with the 3 charges of it. So if you leap 3 times in a row, you're gonna obviously be out of leaps for a long time. But you can take talent to make it a 30-second cooldown and things like that. So that's still good mobility. But I think the main thing is after the damage and healing nerfs, Fury was left without really any way to make up for taking so much extra damage. And I think that's probably because I think Fury is probably supposed to be mostly a PvE spec. Yeah. But maybe.
Do you see like? I feel like Fury works in I'm not doing so well in this BG particularly, but I feel like Fury Warrior does work in a more like BG / maybe even dueling, if anything. But I do think that in like 3v3 arena, whenever people get just train you, like you just die, right? You just eventually die because of that.
Your only cooldown is enraged regeneration, which is a 2-minute cooldown that gives you reduced damage by 30%, and you can use it while you're stunned, which is cool. And it does have a healing component in it as well, as where it makes your bloodthirst heal for 25% of your health, which is a lot. It's a big cooldown, but it's not really like basically you're pressing a 2-minute cooldown to mitigate the fact that you got enraged.
Like and then when you don't have that up, it's like game over.
You're dead. So. Exactly. I think that's why it's a PvE build most likely, where you're taking extra damage in PvE is probably not that big of a deal. Just stay out of fire. You're a DPS. You're not really going to get hit by much. And in a BG, like a team environment where you can just run around and have a ton of healers and just PvE damage on people and stack, just pad the meters with your whirlwinds and all the cleave that you can do, it could be a really fun spec for that sort of thing. But I feel like for any sort of like rated PvP where people are gonna be like, oh, it's a Fury Warrior, kill that, you're gonna get like just absolutely just Death Star nuked by any RBG team ever. So in a regular BG or in PvE, you're probably gonna have a lot of fun, topping meters because you do so much AoE, but also good single target damage as well.
Oh yeah,
so I'll be playing some Fury for BGs, but I'm definitely not gonna be starting off as Fury. But when I played beta, I loved Fury. I was like, oh yeah, Fury is just so cool. But I knew that you can't get too attached. I kept telling myself that. I was like, don't get too attached because this is gonna get nerfed. It's so fun. He's not going to survive. There you go. You got him. It just can't stay as fun as it is because the healing was so strong. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's conceivable that Fury could be brought back up by maybe not taking so much extra damage when you get enraged, or by maybe doing more healing even. Because Fury before it was risk reward. It was like, yo, if I can attack somting, then I can live for a really long time.
Yeah, and I played a lot of Demon Hunter, and that seems to be that playstyle.
Fight a Fury Warrior and leave him in place, or if you could pop like a cooldown like evasion or parry or bops or things that make it so that the Fury Warrior can't actually hit you, you could kill them within that defensive cooldown because they never were able to attack you to regen enough health to survive.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it had weaknesses. It was strong for sure.
So do you foresee any type of like comps working for Fury Warriors in Legion, like based off of what it is, or is it always like Arms is the staple pick over Fury because of all the nerfs that have been in the game?
Yeah, I definitely don't want to just like write Fury off and say it's never going to be viable. Nothing is ever going to work for it, because I'm sure that players will get creative and surprise me. But I cannot see any reason why you would take a defensively weaker. It might deal more AoE damage, but it doesn't really probably deal that much more single target damage, and it doesn't have a Mortal Strike. I don't know why you would take that over a defensively stronger Mortal Strike dealing, like, insane health percent damage dealing class like Arms. I think that Fury will not get picked over Arms in any situation for PvP. Yeah. Except for just having fun in BGs, which I probably will still do because it is fun to run around with a bunch of healers and just crush meters and stuff. But
like the point of these class reviews that I've been doing is really to teach people more so about like where it is in a place for competitive PvP. But I don't think that that discounts anything in terms of like if you have fun with the class, like play it. That it's just the amount of I guess viability, I think is the word.
Yeah.
For competitive high-rated PvP.
Exactly, and just because something's not viable at top level rated PvP doesn't mean that you can't play it and have fun with it. But if you're like, it's what I tell people on my stream all the time. It's like, yo, what's the best class? Like, well, that's not necessarily as important as what you have fun with. But if you are trying to put yourself in the best position to be successful for PvP, going into Legion, if things stay the same right now, Fury will not be the best competitive PvP choice for Warriors.
Yeah, I think that I would agree with that as well. But all right, man, good talks. And if you guys would like to find Bajira, you can definitely check down in the description below. I'll be linking his channel. But what we're gonna do now is actually jump into some arenas so you can see what it's like in a full live PvP situation. There's pros and cons, and you'll obviously see that through the arenas. So let's get into it.
Take me away from home. Show me all the places I've never known. And we'll chase the night. Race all of these broken dreams in flight. And we'll fly. We'll fly. will fly. Up here, we're free, bound only by frozen memories, lost in time, racing all these broken dreams tonight, and we'll fly.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, obviously be sure to give a big thumbs up, and you can also check out Bajir's channel at youtube.com/BajiraWow. Thanks for coming on, Baz.
Yep.
I really do enjoy hearing your thoughts on this class, and hopefully it does one day get in a better place so we can like continue doing more Fury stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Yep, but anyways guys, I will see you in the next one. Cartoons out.